All right. Greetings, my friends. Grace, mercy, and peace from him who is and was and is to come very shortly, I suspect. So, I guess, I've been struggling to, uh, getting any new content, creating any new content, because I don't know really what to say right now that hasn't already either been said by me or by people more articulate and smarter than me. Um, So I guess today we'll just take a quick look at this. This is something that I've been watching for unbelievable. Be 7 months tomorrow. Not quite. Not well. The rollout has been going on since 7 months tomorrow. I can't remember when exactly they put this up. I think maybe it was 2 or 3 weeks into it. This tracker, but as you can see, we're looking at 3.5 billion doses, 30.5 million doses a day. So, um, at 30.5 million doses a day, you're talking about this taking a long time. Okay, this isn't moving very fast anymore. And at where, if you look at the United States, if you look at all the places that have high coverage, Canada, the United States, Greenland, all of Europe, Saudi Arabia. That's odd because none of these other countries have very high coverage. But I mean, Qatar has 61%, 71.3% in Bahrain, 30 in Saudi Arabia, China 50, but Russia only has 15. This seems odd to me right here. Belarus, less than 6%. Ukraine, less than 6%. Why is that? I mean, why would those countries be so far behind even Russia? I don't get it. And then there's all these that got basically nothing. All these Central Asian countries. Check this out. This is really creepy. Tajikistan. I've been watching this. Wait a minute, is it Tajikistan? No, there's another one in here. Kyrgyzstan. Kyrgyzstan. 937 doses. And I've been watching that pretty closely. And I was wondering, and I actually had to because you see, if you're a country that hasn't had any doses given, like this country down here in Africa, next to the Congo, the DR Congo, whatever this country is, I mean, there's a country there, but they just don't it's the one south of Kenya. I don't know what it's called. But my point is I didn't even, I had to I had to bring up Google Maps to even find out what some of these countries were here. Because there was so many, there was a huge area where they hadn't given out any. Now this Kyrgyzstan or whatever, however you pronounce that, was at zero for the longest time. And it was seriously creeping me out. And now it's at 937 and it has been for weeks. I mean, maybe a couple months. So why would you give out 937 doses and then just stop? I mean, that just seems totally, totally bizarre to me. Now, So if we're in Daniel's 70th seven, which I believe we are, and the variolation is the mark, what's the holdup? I mean, because there's not much time left. Okay, now even if you look at the United States, and vaccines in the United States have slowed to a crawl. Interestingly enough, they slowed to a crawl right around the 20th of April, which is Hitler's birthday. Okay, it was the day of the George Floyd verdict. It was the day that vaccines all became available. They became in the United States that they became available to everybody. Okay, and they pretty much already were. I mean, although it was like I did like. I mean, I wasn't gonna get very elated, but I was like trying to get in, calling around to see if I could get an appointment. In earlier in April, and it was like it was impossible. They would have scheduled me for an appointment because by that time some states had already opened it up to everybody already. Some states maybe weren't, but some states might have only had like 90% eligibility. I mean, it was a pretty broad group, broad demographic by the 20th. But that's when it officially became available to every American nationwide, and it was also the 1290th day from the Revelation 12, from the appearance of the Revelation 12 sign. So, I mean, what we're looking at here is, but it was weird because then it just like, and I kept expecting it to pick up again, like around here, kind of like around the 20th of May, which would be the 1335th day from the Revelation 12 sign. It was starting to, it looked to me like it might start picking up again. But then after that, it totally crashed down. Just the number of doses given a day. I find this hard to believe. That there would be days where 0 doses are given. I mean, after all these many days, and then bam, no doses given. Same way here on the 5th, which, I mean, it was a holiday. So, and I guess this would be Memorial Day too. So I guess there are certain holidays that they respect. So, but I don't know. It's weird. There's no, people aren't getting these vaccines, and that and the turnout effort or whatever you want to call it, the effort to get more people is gotten ridiculous. I mean, they had some woman that I'd never even heard of, but I guess she's like popular or something, and she's a pop star or something. And they had her at the little their little press conference at the White House today. And I mean, get out of here. I don't think she's got. I really don't think at this point that's gonna that's gonna move the needle anymore. So if there's so I guess I'm at where I've been for a while. They're gonna have to do something. Okay. they're gonna have to do something dramatic. Like, I don't know, like start forcing it onto people. Now, the other possibility that I want to at least explore is that it isn't that this variolation is not the mark the mark of the beast. Okay, because I think a lot of us are kind of been operating under the assumption that it was, or at least that it was very likely that it could be. I believe it's connected to it in some way. But the other possibility is, but even that possibility, okay, because I mean, at the 14th of July, which is Bastille Day, um, at the 14th of July of 2021, we're so deep into this thing that they would really have to, I mean, it would have to be like, in order for them to pull something out where the variolation was in no way, had nothing to do with it, it would be, at this point, it would be like an impossible feat. 3.5 on coming up on 4 years into this. And by into this, I mean into the 7. But I mean like in like a year and a half into the actual the 91 Divock hoax. So there's some things that but I mean there's some things that could qualify. Obviously they're talking about this cyber pandemic, whatever that is. What exactly is a cyber pandemic? Does anybody know? I've never heard of such a thing. And of course they had Cyber Polygon, which seems to me like an awful lot like, or it could be end up being an awful lot like Event 201. And there would also be, there's also the variants. And then there's also the unidentified aerial phenomena. Okay, and so my suspicion is that all those three, broadly speaking, those three things are going to come together in a way that makes it unmistakable. That makes whatever the mark is completely unmistakable. So, so I'm going to wrap this up now with 1 Thessalonians 5, 1 through 11. But concerning the times and the seasons, brethren, you have no need that I should write to you. For you yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so comes as a thief in the night. For when they say peace and safety, then sudden destruction comes upon them as labor pains upon a pregnant woman, and they shall not escape. But you, brethren, are not in darkness, so that this day should overtake you as a thief. You are all sons of light and sons of the day. We are not of the night, nor of darkness. Therefore let us not sleep as others do, but let us watch and be sober. For those who sleep, sleep at night, and those who get drunk are drunk at night. But let us who are of the day be sober, putting on the breastplate of faith and love, and as a helmet the hope of salvation. For God did not appoint us to wrath, but to obtain salvation through our Lord Jesus Christ, who died for us, that whether we wake or sleep, we should live together with him. Therefore comfort each other and edify one another, just as you also are doing. So, that's it for right now. I love you guys. I'm out.